There's not a chance in hell that this is funny. And when you see those flat, corny, late-night jokes, those are so cringy. There's a warm-up guy, and generally the warm-up guy's a failed comedian. What they're doing is just like reading off of a teleprompter. Colbert, there's Jimmy Kimmel, there's Fallon. There's literal applause signs that flash to tell you when to applaud. They're like, okay, explain to the people. Yeah. Okay, when Jimmy comes out, I want a big round of applause. Let's practice this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Fallon. Yeah. And everybody
practice it.
Yes. They'll train the audience. The banter was fake. Their dialogue back and forth was scripted. So they were saying, so Andy, you know, I understand you got married, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, well, and so they're reading it, and I'm watching the class like, this is mad.
The lights dim, the audience roars, and the host glides onto the stage. A picture of effortless charm and perpetual cheer. But what if the laughter was fake? The banter rehearsed, and the entire spectacle a meticulously crafted illusion designed to distract you from a stark, uncomfortable truth? What if I told you that the recent searing critiques launched at Jimmy Fallon by titans like Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly weren't just spontaneous outbursts, but a calculated, brutal unmasking? They orchestrated a symphony of sarcasm and savage truth bombs, not merely to mock, but to expose the rot at the heart of modern late-night television.
Let's talk about Jimmy Fallon, because having worked at NBC, I understand people saying it's a toxic place to work. I do, trust me. However, it's rare to see somebody like Jimmy Fallon, who's supposed to be everybody's favorite late night guy, though not according to the ratings, come under this kind of scrutiny. And the controversy is getting bad. Now, I will tell you, he's not the worst. The Daily Show has the worst rating.
Road to obscurity. Nobody's going to care anymore. It's like you're seeing it take place with late night television. Nobody gives a fuck about it anymore.
I know.
And it's slowly, you have a bad business model and you're not adapting.
Yeah, the creativity's gone for late night comedy, right? Like that's not really a thing anymore.
Jimmy Fallon doing a song about different variants of COVID. But this one is so strange. It's like, I mean, what did they him up with to get him to agree to do this?
For years, we've been fed the polished myth of late-night spontaneity. We've seen hosts seemingly stumble into hilarious anecdotes or engage in witty, unscripted banter. But behind the curtain, the reality is far more manufactured. There are warm-up comedians, often failed stand-ups themselves, prepping the crowd, drilling them on when to laugh, when to clap, even practicing their applause for the host's entrance. Okay, when Jimmy comes out, a voice commands, "I want a big round of applause. Let's practice this right now, ladies and gentlemen." It's a choreographed spectacle. Every smile, every guffaw, every reaction carefully elicited. The supposed effortless charm of Jimmy Fallon, the casual dialogue with his bandleader, the spontaneous celebrity revelations, all painstakingly scripted, read from hidden teleprompters. Imagine watching a car crash, knowing every crunch of metal, every shattered window was planned. That's the chilling reality of what passes for late night comedy today. The genuine connection, the unexpected turn, the raw emotion, it's all been drained, leaving behind a hollow echo of entertainment.
The Tucker controversy. And the reporting out of Rolling Stone is, I'm conflicted, I'm gonna be honest. Because kids today, they're so dramatic, Jesse. They left due to their mental health. They were fired. Rolling Stone reached out to 80 current and former staffers. Not a single one had positive things to say about working on The Tonight Show or for Jimmy. NBC, in defending the story, did not defend Fallon. They just said, "We're incredibly proud of The Tonight Show." This paragraph. Reporting things like having nightmares related to work, in a constant state of fear, being put on anti-anxiety medication, hair thinning, weakened nail beds, going to therapy. Some claim they had suicidal ideation as a result of the working environment. They reported, I'm like, what the hell did Jimmy Fallon do? What'd he do? I read the next paragraph. It says, they reported Jimmy snapping at people. He snapped at people? What do you mean? That caused suicidal ideations?
And despite this carefully curated image of the nation's favorite late-night guy, the truth is laid bare in the cold, hard numbers. The ratings are plummeting. While Fallon has cultivated an image of universal appeal, he's found himself squarely in the crosshairs of growing scrutiny, facing a tide of controversy that's quickly getting out of control. Picture a grand, seemingly unsinkable vessel. Everyone on board is laughing, playing games, utterly oblivious. That's the energy Jimmy Fallon brings to late-night television, even as the world around him burns with scandals, political turmoil, and profound societal shifts. While democracy wobbles like a drunk flamingo on ice, and the news cycle spins into chaos, Jimmy remains steadfast in his pursuit of blissful ignorance. He's over there, donning a blonde wig for another musical sketch, grinning with the unburdened joy of a third grader who just discovered glue sticks. This isn't comedy, it's a profound, almost pathological form of crisis denial, accompanied by a perfectly competent house band. And finally, someone has dared to walk onto that deck, rip the kazoo from his hand, and toss it into the icy waters of public opinion, signaling the slow, inevitable road to obscurity for an entire genre. This deliberate detachment bleeds into every facet of Fallon's on-screen persona. He doesn't conduct interviews, he hosts glorified playdates. When was the last time Fallon genuinely challenged a guest, asked a probing question that might make someone squirm? He doesn't ask questions. He reads greeting cards aloud, punctuating them with noises only dogs can hear. Every time a scandal-soaked celebrity, or even just a star needing a quick publicity boost, settles onto his couch, Jimmy's only real concern is whether they'd prefer a game of puppy pong or if they can distinguish real sushi from Play-Doh. Rogan, observing this comedic vacuum, reportedly laughed so hard he nearly slipped into another dimension of bewildered amusement. Megyn Kelly, however, wasn't amused. She brought the flamethrower. Fallon, over the years, has morphed into something utterly devoid of authenticity, an animatronic theme park host with a plastic smile, a rehearsed giggle, and the intellectual depth of a pool noodle. He's not hosting a show anymore. He's presiding over a safe space for publicists, a rehab center for damaged reputations, a celebrity witness protection program where nothing real is ever said and no one is ever truly challenged.
Like, I want to be in the meet. I want to be a fly on the wall in that meeting where they go, okay, Jimmy, this is what we're going to do. You're going to be singing about all the different variants. And it's like, here's a song. And you're going to be dancing and saying, it's like, okay.
Might be the best. It's XBB.1.5. Another brand of COVID-19 has arrived. It's a new strain, but it isn't the same. Sounds more like Elon Musk's his name. It's XBB.1.5, not UB40 who sings red wine. Put on your mask when you're inside a facility. It could be a robot from a Star Wars trilogy. It's
God.
What is happening there?
They have some examples. One employee said Fallon would write personal insults to staffers as opposed to constructive criticisms, such as, "Are you okay? Seriously, do you need help?" He's laughing. And, "Ugh, lame. What's going on with you? You've outdone yourself." The horror, Jesse.
Megan, see, this is what I struggle with too. And are we dealing with somebody who's an actual jerk, or are we dealing with this new generation?
But the most damning revelations about Fallon's world extended far beyond his on-screen persona, peeling back the layers to expose a truly troubling environment behind the camera. A bombshell report from Rolling Stone, which reached out to a staggering 80 current and former staffers, painted a chilling picture. Not a single one had anything positive to say about working on The Tonight Show or for Jimmy himself. The allegations were deeply concerning. Employees reportedly experiencing nightmares related to work, living in a constant state of fear, being driven to anti-anxiety medication, some even claiming their hair was thinning, nail beds weakening, and resorting to therapy. Most disturbing, some staff members confided in the report that they had experienced periods of deep emotional distress, bordering on profound despair, as a direct result of the toxic work environment. When asked what could possibly cause such extreme reactions, the response was jarringly simple, yet devastating. They reported Jimmy snapping at people, not just criticism, but personal insults masked as concern. Like, "Are you okay? Seriously, do you need help?" Or sarcastic jabs like, "You've outdone yourself," following a perceived failure. The horror, as described, wasn't from direct physical threats, but from an unpredictable, emotionally draining atmosphere. Yet, Megyn Kelly, in her characteristic no-nonsense style, cut through what she saw as dramatic overreaction. "What the h-hole did Jimmy Fallon do?" she mused, before pointedly suggesting that such intense reactions to a boss snapping might indicate that people need to toughen up. She emphasized that a workplace isn't your nana's lap, adding a contentious layer to the public discussion, even as NBC's official defense of the show notably failed to defend Fallon himself.
have gone over well in the Kelly household. So yeah, I don't ever know what to make of them, Megyn.
Same. I feel the same. I've got serious questions about whether any of this is true. I mean, in every job I've ever worked, I've had people who would jump through brick walls for me, and I can be a tough boss. I'm not an asshole, but I'll say, like, that was a shitty packet. Like, we need to do better. That was not okay. And the team, my team loves me, and I love my team because we are all about putting out great work product. And I'm quick to compliment too. Like, what did he say? He basically said, "Are you okay? Seriously, do you need help?" That's causing people to lose their hair. People need to toughen up. Your workplace is not your nana's lap.
The contrast between Fallon's sanitized universe and the gritty realities explored by figures like Joe Rogan couldn't be starker. Rogan, whose guests are often academics, neuroscientists, war veterans, or whistleblowers, demands data, arguments, and citations. Fallon, meanwhile, celebrates guests who bring cute stories about their dogs or are willing to eat mystery pudding from a hat. Fallon's idea of hard-hitting journalism is asking a music superstar like Billie Eilish what her favorite cereal is. That's not late night, that's kindergarten show and tell with better lighting. Rogan instinctively recognized Fallon's unique superpower, the ability to make even nuclear-level controversy feel like a lukewarm cup of chamomile tea. The man could theoretically have a significant world figure on his couch and still find a way to segue into a segment called Who Wore It Better? Dictator Edition. The only thing Jimmy truly interrogates is whether Chris Hemsworth can balance a pancake on his elbow. Riveting stuff indeed. Meanwhile, Megyn Kelly's tolerance for this brand of cotton candy cowardice is somewhere between absolutely none and I'd rather gargle glass. She articulated what anyone with a functioning frontal lobe already knows. Fallon isn't hosting a show, he's operating a PR rehab spa complete with mood lighting and zero accountability. If you've said something awful, done something worse, or just need to sell your underperforming streaming flop, Fallon's couch is your sanctuary. Just bring your smile, leave your spine at the door, and don't forget the laughter. That infamous Fallon laugh, part dolphin, part malfunctioning Roomba, bursts forth no matter what's said, as if he's a living laugh track with separation anxiety. If silence lasts more than 3 seconds, Jimmy might spontaneously combust.
Now, I will tell you, he's not the worst. The Daily Show has the worst ratings. They only have 366,000 people watching that show. During the Jon Stewart years, it was over 2 million. Now it's down to 300,000. Seth Meyers, absolutely dreadful. He doesn't even have 1,778,000. I mean, for network television, this is, you don't have to pay for it. It's there when you turn on your TV, you plug it in. That's a dreadful number. Greg Gutfeld on cable, which you do have to pay for, it has more than double the numbers of Seth Meyers. Jimmy Kimmel, 1.5 million averaging, also equally horrible. And then there's The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, who back when I was there, 2017-18, he was averaging 2.3 million a night. Now he's down to 1.3 million, Jesse. And he cannot afford the "you are toxic" controversy because he's also pulling in reportedly over $15 million a year. So you got all that money for 1.5 million in audience, which is a nothing. I mean, the middle of the day on Fox News gets that. Or at least used to before the Tucker controversy.
This entire ecosystem, Megyn Kelly argued, is predicated on a deliberate inoffensiveness, a beige buffet of fake fun and performative neutrality. Fallon's refusal to take a stance on anything isn't a virtue, it's fear with a side part. He's not trying to unite people, he's desperately trying to keep his advertisers. Every time he flashes that goofy grin, somewhere a focus group claps. Fallon's brand is cowardice disguised as charm. He doesn't poke power, he invites it over for board games and tries to get it to play Twister. When the media was needed to hold up a mirror to a turbulent world, Fallon held up a glittery Snapchat filter instead. He is the anti-thought leader, the king of candy-coated nothing, a man so dedicated to keeping things light that even helium feels grounded next to him. Joe Rogan called it, Fallon is terrified of losing approval. That's precisely why he never challenges, never questions, never digs. He treats public conversation like a magic trick. Distract, 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 and poof. No one notices that the emperor and the guest have no clothes. Fallon's unique gift is making the grotesque look adorable, the corrupt look quirky, and the dangerous look like they just need a hug. Remember when the world was in political freefall? Fallon's contribution was slow jamming the news, like a man trying to flirt with democracy while juggling rubber chickens. Actual journalists were chasing stories. Fallon was chasing The Rock with a Nerf gun. He's what happens when comfort food becomes a personality, and now people are finally calling it what it is: empty, safe, and actively unhelpful. The stark reality of Fallon's manufactured world is reflected in the dire state of late-night television's ratings as a whole. The Daily Show, once a juggernaut under Jon Stewart pulling in over 2 million viewers, now scrapes by with a mere 366,000. Seth Meyers, another network staple, struggles to crack a million, averaging 778,000. Even Jimmy Kimmel averages a dismal 1.5 million. These are dreadful numbers for network television, which is, after all, free to air. Contrast that with Greg Gutfeld on cable, which requires a subscription, consistently pulling in more than double Seth Meyers' viewership. And Fallon, once averaging 2.3 million viewers nightly back in 2017-2018, he's now plummeted to 1.3 million. This significant drop comes at a particularly vulnerable time, especially with the toxic workplace allegations swirling, making the reported $15 million a year he pulls in for such a dwindling audience seem absurdly high. The toxic controversy is something he simply cannot afford. This isn't accidental fluff, it's manufactured avoidance. The entire Tonight Show is engineered to be utterly forgettable, not controversial, not meaningful, just bland. It's like a TV show created by a committee of HR reps who all voted for inoffensive beige as their favorite color. Meanwhile, the world's on fire, but Fallon is still offering everyone a s'more and asking them to play egg Russian roulette, deftly avoiding every uncomfortable truth like it's coated in radioactive slime. There's no bite, no sting, no satire, just the soothing hum of mediocrity wrapped in fake enthusiasm and flashing applause signs. Joe Rogan instinctively noted the profound absence in Fallon's approach, not just of journalism, not just of challenge, but of basic humanity. Fallon doesn't connect, he performs. He doesn't respond to culture, he tap dances around it with jazz hands and pre-written jokes approved by 10 layers of branding consultants. Kelly's Takedown, however, was less a critique and more a cultural post-mortem. She stripped away the facade, leaving behind a gaping void where courage and originality should be. Fallon has built an empire on staying neutral, but when neutrality becomes silence in the face of garbage, it transforms into complicity. You can almost hear Fallon's team rehearsing. Make sure the guest feels safe, don't ask anything too real, keep it light, keep it goofy, and whatever you do, don't show a spine. That strategy worked until it didn't. Now viewers are tuning out, not because they're angry, but because they're bored to death. Because Fallon isn't doing anything, he's just there, like a decorative pillow on a burning couch. And if this blistering roast from Rogan and Kelly accomplishes one thing, it's this: exposing that being liked by everyone is the fastest route to being remembered by no one. Fallon tried so hard not to offend, he forgot how to matter. He had every tool, every advantage, a primetime spot, an unparalleled platform, a legacy stretching back to television titans. But he traded it all for a nightly routine of nervous laughter and viral skits that aged faster than day-old avocado toast. This isn't just a takedown, it's a vital reminder. Comedy can entertain, but it can also challenge. It can mock power, question systems, punch upward. Fallon chose to be the court jester who juggles rubber chickens while Rome collapses. Rogan and Kelly, by contrast, aren't anti-comedy. They are fiercely anti-cowardice. And Fallon's brand of toothless giggles, shrink-wrapped mediocrity, and branded synergy is precisely what they're warning against. This isn't about left or right, it's about real or fake. Rogan's platform is messy, sometimes controversial, but undeniably alive. Fallon's is a carefully controlled, commercially viable oblivion. And the most tragic part? He didn't have to be this way. Fallon had raw talent once. Back in his Weekend Update days, there was a glimmer of edge, of mischief, of genuine comedic potential. But then came the money, the brands, the crushing pressure to please absolutely everyone. And now, Jimmy Fallon is the host, formerly known as Interesting. So as Fallon stumbles through another round of fake laughter and celebrity behind kissing, just know the roast has been served. Not with malice, but with surgical precision. Because someone had to hold up a mirror and someone had to shatter it. Rogan brought the hammer, Kelly brought the heat, and Fallon, he just brought a banana costume and a joke about Taylor Swift's cat. Late Night has officially left the building, and all that's left on the stage is Jimmy, still giggling alone.